the Georgia State game?
Yeah, I think we've already discussed it. Another gut-wrenching win, and that's the ones we want is the win. So, another overtime game, which was hard on the heart, but good in the results. We went to the game knowing Georgia State was going, fighting for their lives, and that's what we got out of them. Obviously, we got no quit. Thought obviously we gave up a big play early in the game, and we recovered from that. Defense played well throughout the game. Did a lot of good things. Probably gave up a little more yards than we wanted to, but thought they really played well. Take away that opening play and 2 plays in the special teams, and we really hadn't gave up much. Offense really came out and did some good things. We found our passing game. Of course, both quarterbacks graded out extremely well. They were both almost 90%. Eli was 5 for 5, and I know Max threw for over 250 yards. So good pass protection. We ran the ball well. Our third team running back, Miles Jones, came in, really did a good job for us. With other guys nicked up a little bit. We caught the ball well. So a good night. Special teams, which has been a big time strength for us. Had a couple letdowns there, and just happened to be on back-to-back plays, which kind of put Georgia State back in the game. So that was a tough situation. But our guys came back in overtime and really came in with a lot of confidence. I thought that was good to see that we came in with a lot of confidence. And defense went 3 and out against Georgia State. They missed a field goal, and then and we go stick it in offensively. So a lot of good things to take out of it. Nowhere close to being satisfied. No, we've got tons of things to get better at, and of course we've been saying that. So we're continuing to grow as a team and just getting ready to go into conference play.
Bill, how does that change now? Because it is conference play. What you've learned just watching the league in general.
Mm-hmm.
I know you ain't played any of these
Sure.
teams, but speak to that whole issue about starting conference play.
I think, and I said that I really watched this conference from, kind of from afar when I was at South Alabama. Obviously, always kind of keeping up with Jack State, being my school, and kind of what they would do. And then we played UT Martin a couple of years ago. I think they were leading the country in offense. So that really allowed me to see other schools play and really just be impressed. I've said that since January. And not knocking anything we've done or anything anybody else has done, but I know, there was maybe some question about how strong our league was years and years ago. But I think you got to go look at our league now and put it up there. And it kind of irritates me that there's some question, before about how many bursts we get and whatnot. And I know there's some history there about playoff success, but you look at what our league's doing, across the board when they go out and play. These other guys are doing good things, and I think, and I told our guys when we got here, we were one of the top teams in the league when we got here. The bullseye has stayed on Jacksonville State, and I think that's probably rightfully so from previous success, especially early on. But I think our league has really, a lot of them have caught up. They've put an emphasis on football. It's become more important, and that's how they're playing. So we've got total respect for everybody in the league. We say it's a one-game season every week now. We've kind of treated it like that, but we've made our winning our conference or having a chance to win it, go into the playoffs. That's everything we've worked for since the first day we got here, from the first day we met, from the first day in the weight room. That don't mean we're going to do it by just talking about it, but we understand how important it is. We feel, we have a lot of respect for the guys in our conference, and we know it's going to be a battle every single week, and right now it's just the first one up, so it's a playoff game to us every week.
As tight as it's gotten, to expand on that a little bit, is it almost, and because you were picked kind of middle of that middle tier, does every game almost get to be like a elimination game? I mean, Murray's tough. Then you get the next one, and then you get the 3 Tennessee people, and they're all tough.
That's right.
Just as it goes, but is this a kind of like a early elimination game, even though you hadn't played in the conference yet because of what everybody else is doing?
And I said that's why I want our guys to just focus on one time. I don't want to put so much pressure on us because you're going to go through, if we just go through history of any conference, a team loses and all of a sudden they come back and win it. Now, you can't have a bunch of losses, obviously, but we can't say that if something happens, our season's over, but at the same time, we want to prepare like it's a playoff game. We want to prepare like it's a one-game season. And then we'll have to put that one behind us and prepare solely for the next one. And I think it's easy to talk about those things. It's harder to do. And I told our team this morning, what can we not do for 8 weeks? What can we not do as a coaching staff? I think we've done that every day since, but it's, we talk about winning that day. Let's win this day with how we prepare, our effort, taking care of our bodies, even academically, all those things that creates us from having issues so we can focus on being our best that day and that game, at the end of that week. But that's, that's how we're looking at it.
They're a pretty dynamic club. I think they got some really active defensive guys. But, the offense, I know it's a different kind of quarterback, but will you just break them down for us on that side?
I think you go from early spread mindsets of, go back to late 90s in Kentucky and Hatcher being with those guys. I think there's seeing Alabama being one of the first states to really evolve toward the spread. And of course, we were a spread option team, when I was head coach of Prattville. Defensively, I've had to defend so many of those guys. And, so if there's a whole mindset of who's the quarterback, what can he do, they can build this thing, and you say now everybody's doing it. But this is a guy that was one of those first guys doing it, from vertical set offensive lineman to all the screen game. But I think you got a team here that does what you give them. They run the ball. They like quarterback runs. Quarterback's got a great arm. I mean, Lord, you scored 80 points on somebody. I don't know if you could do that on air. So, they are dynamic. They've got, they've got a NFL receiver who's got that kind of ability. They've got a good quarterback. Their offensive line is tough. They've got skilled guys all around. Defensively, I think they're much improved. Not as much blitz, not knocking what they were doing before, but I think they're going to make you earn it. There's not as many chances for big plays with those kind of people. And he's kind of like us in the special teams. I think he tries to find ways to win the game. I know just from past history, there's a lot of different surprise onside, and I've seen 2 kickers, and and all those. And I'm not giving any secrets away to say that don't mean we can stop it, but we know they try and do a good job in the kicking game. You see a bunch of their starters on kicking special teams, which we do. So I think they're sound all around.
Well, both of the players addressed the issue of playing in the conference, and how tough or tighter have they seen the conference get in the, now 4 years that both of y'all have been there and played through. You've seen it, all these teams, a whole lot more than he has.
Right.
How tough, tighter has it got? Whoever wants to jump in first.
Well, it used to be just a couple teams in the top, and they would dominate each year. It'd be top 3 or so, and we'd always be in the mix. And now you never know what you're going to get. I mean, every team is, like Coach said, has evolved so much and picked up their game in the football sense that every week is just as important. I mean, there's no just dominant team anymore.
And I kind of like what the coach was saying. It's like every game is like a playoff game. You really have to focus on these teams. You can't just think ahead. You have to literally, this is a conference game, and it's just that much more important. If you get it done, you focus on this team right now rather than seeing who's at the top and seeing who's over there doing that and stuff. You want to focus who's in front of you.
As a defensive guy, how tough is it to play these people that put it all over the place?
I mean, we just got to be fast. We all have to run to the ball. You can't think, okay, because a lot of times people might be on the island or whatnot, so you really just got to use pursuit and angles and whatnot. And it's about effort. That's really what it comes to these type of teams.
You excited about playing?
Yes, sir. I've been waiting for a long time, it seems like, even though it's only been 4 weeks, but I just can't wait to get back out there and play.
Bill, I know we talked about this yesterday. What will having Taylor back add to your offensive line?
I told him this. I said, arguably our best guy, and I think he knows that. And I think what we get out of him too is such a leadership component. Just a guy that's been there, done that, and our guys really listen to him. He comes with the right attitude every day. He's a work guy. He's not a guy I got to worry about replacing, or he's going to get tired. And to have lost that, one, I want to really brag on our guys that stepped up, and our offensive staff and those guys, and now our depth, and for our future, because he is a senior, it's going to be great. But it sure helps to have your leader back out there, and I just think it makes us a better O-line by for sure. And then I think it makes us just a better overall offense having him back.
The Powell kid for them is a double threat. Not only is he a good receiver, he's a dynamic receiver. You got to watch. The kid last week at Georgia State was the same way.
Yeah.
Are these similar kind of players?
Yeah, he's a little more polished. He's bigger. He can get to full speed pretty quick. He makes plays downfield, which is what scares you. And then they've got a lot of ways to get it to him. They're in an offense that by motioning to empty and doing all these different things, you look up and he's got one-on-one coverage, and they're going to try and take advantage of that. Yet they don't do as much probably trying to hide him. It's just because they are a tempo team. They let him go get lined up, and so it's not like they're throwing to him every snap. But you look up and he's got all these yards, and then of course he's a big guy after the catch, which I think makes him so dynamic in the return game. So you got to worry about him on defense, and then you turn around and worry about him on special teams. So yeah, it's scary.